Every day, millions are drowning in the same nightmare, a feeling that giving money to charity, to philanthropy, to causes somehow just isn't enough. The pain is real. The frustration is crushing. People give, hope, pray for change, but the world keeps spinning in the same broken way. Poverty persists. Inequality grows. Climate warnings get louder, yet solutions feel shallow, like band-aids on wounds that never stop bleeding. It hurts to watch, doesn't it? Watching good intentions crash against walls built by systems that reward silence and obedience, not courage and change. The old ways demand obedience. Give your money, step back, stay quiet. And for what? To see little to no lasting transformation. To see the same problems recycled endlessly. That's the real problem nobody wants to admit. That philanthropy, no matter how generous, is caught in a loop, a trap. It's charity feeding charity, and change gets chewed up and spit out by structures designed to protect power, not disrupt it. But here's something that shakes to the core. Impact investing can be the hammer that breaks those chains. It's not a shiny new toy or some fad for the wealthy to show off. No, it's raw power. Money that refuses to sit idle and ask one burning question. What good can this do if it grows and spreads? What impossible change can it birth? It's a revolution hiding in plain sight, a way to make your money scream for justice, for transformation, instead of quietly whispering a prayer. And no, this is not just about wallets or bank accounts. It's about reclaiming control over the future, over decisions forced on us by rules that choke ambition. Imagine a world where every dollar you invest pushes companies, ideas, and people to stand up, to fight, to rebuild. Where your money is not a gift to be lost or forgotten, but a sword cutting through the noise, carving a path for what's next. The pain behind philanthropy is that it asks for sacrifice without power. But impact investing flips the script. It asks for investment with voice, with backbone, with fire. It turns passive giving into active shaping. That's the kind of fire that burns the cage. Now, there's a brutal truth lurking under every hopeful headline about impact investing. It won't replace philanthropy overnight. It's bigger than that. It's a rebirth of how humans act on hope, broken into brutal clarity. Because philanthropy doesn't vanish. It transforms. It mutates into power that investors can wield, challenge, direct, and demand accountability from. You can no longer hide behind good intentions and call it progress. Impact investing forces proof, forcing those who hold money to put their principles on trial and demand real results. The old tricks don't work here. Lies don't hide unnoticed. Every dollar is a spotlight. Every investment is a challenge to show me the change. This matters because the world is burning beneath our feet, and the clock is ruthless. We can't rely on waiting for streams of charity to trickle down. It's a cruel joke that philanthropy expects patience while communities suffer, but impact investing flips that power dynamic. It does something no charity check ever could. You get to be part of the solution's engine, not just a silent spectator watching from the sidelines. You get to disrupt the cycle where the needy are always just that, needy. You invest in breaking cycles, not just soothing symptoms. Imagine what happens when capital chases impact with the ferocity it chases profit. The implications shake the foundations. Real projects, innovations, and bold ideas wake up from being just good causes to become unstoppable forces of change. Yet, there's a cage some don't see. Even impact investing can get swallowed into the system it tries to upend. The danger here is complacency, dressed as action. Dollars can start to chase style, popularity, comfort zones, doing good, but avoiding disruption. That's the moment when impact investing risks becoming just another form of obedience. Safe, predictable, forgettable. The question is, how do you avoid that? How do you make impact investing not a gentle pat on the back, but a powerful, sharp strike that disregards comfort and insists on real transformation? The answer lies in refusing to play by the rules designed to limit power. It's about choosing who to invest in, finding the wild ones, the rebels, the ones who shout no to the status quo and yes to the impossible. It's about wielding investment like a weapon of liberation. targeting projects that burn with that same dangerous fire. For example, that means backing social enterprises that don't just aim for profit or charity, but fuse both into something that can sustain itself and scale change with unstoppable momentum. Backing renewable energy projects in places where entire communities get to flip the script on fossil fuel abuse. Investing not just in tech or startups, but in people, the unheard, the sidelined, those too risky for traditional funds, but with the power to disrupt. Because impact investing without daring is just philanthropy in a suit. It has to be radical, uncomfortable, and sometimes ugly. Change isn't always clean or pretty. It's messy and relentless. Deep down, this is about reclaiming the soul of humanity in a world that tried to process it into uniform obedience. Impact investing is the refusal to accept that numbness, to scream that yes, money can be a tool for destruction, but it can also be a tool for freedom. It's a rebellion not just against poverty or pollution, but against the idea that change will come from waiting. Waiting on governments, on charities, on institutions built on fear of exceptional people. Impact investing is joining a movement of people who won't settle for a borrowed life, who would rather burn than quietly bend beneath the weight of broken systems. And here's what's radical about that. It's already happening. More investors realize that pure profit, money that grows while destroying communities or nature, is a lie that won't last. They see the hunger for purpose, for impact, for something their money can truly mean. But this hunger can't be satisfied with platitudes or safe bets. It demands courage, patience, and ruthless selectivity. Choose projects not because they look good on paper, but because they shake the ground and refuse to hide. Choose those who embody transformation, not those who dress up the status quo. Choose quality, depth, and commitment to the long game over flashy short-term wins. This is the magic formula society is starving for. Investment that demands accountability, transparency, and real impact. Investment that puts power back into the hands of those who dare to imagine better. Imagine funding that makes it impossible for injustice to linger in the shadows, because every dollar shines a light on truth and pushes for more. Imagine a network of investors who don't settle for small wins, but hunger for change so fierce it shifts economies, laws, and lives. The question is no longer whether impact investing will replace philanthropy. It's how far can this fire burn if people stop waiting, stop obeying, and start acting. But there's a catch. This isn't a silver bullet for comfort seekers or noisemakers. Impact investing is a call to arms for those ready to abandon the lie of freedom sold by convenience. It's for the few who will reject the easy path of giving without expectation, who will demand their investment makes noise, shakes power, and grows with purpose. It's for those who feel that unbearable tension inside, this pressure that says you were born to be more than a spectator, more than a processed number, or a quiet donor. It's for the rebels who will ignite change by investing their will, their voice, their money into building realities beyond the cages of obedience. So, what does that world look like, where impact investing and philanthropy heal together? It looks like a world where money flows to those not because they promise comfort, but because they force transformation. It looks like communities that own their futures, where no one waits for help, but instead builds, invests, creates. It looks like investors who don't just count returns in dollars, but in changed lives, healed lands, and broken systems turned on their heads. A world where each investment is a spark in the dark, lighting the way for millions who refuse silence. Don't be fooled into thinking this is just about money. It's about taking back control, shaking off the chains of obedience, and choosing fire over rust. Every coin turned into impact is a strike against a dull, broken world. Every project funded through this lens is a promise that the extraordinary will be rewarded, that the exceptional won't be silenced, that transformation is not a dream, but a demand. Impact investing doesn't just carry money, it carries hope, rage, will, and power. It invites those brave enough to refuse the status quo, to not just imagine, but create a world where giving becomes building. Charity becomes investing in justice, and money becomes a force for unstoppable, raw freedom. The time to choose is now. Stay stuck in the humbling loop of giving without voice or rise to become an investor in change that demands more than gratitude. It demands revolution. Because the world doesn't need more charity. It needs impact that breaks chains, burns cages, and lifts the few who dare to free the many. If that fire speaks to you, then understand this. Impact investing is not just a tool. It is the rebellion, the revolution, the unstoppable force that will not only replace philanthropy, it will redefine how humanity fights, builds, and thrives. The cage is open. The choice is yours. Walk through it with fire in your heart.